item regarding the Black Agenda. And it's a listening session for those of us here to be able to hear some of the concerns that you all have and some of the issues that you have at the top of your agenda to make sure we know what to carry into 2026. And so I know that we have, as you all heard, some elected officials. Latoya Nkongolo, I'm sorry, Delegate, for not honoring you earlier, however, has joined us. And so for those of you who came prepared, we definitely are available. I want you to hear from our committee chairs here in the NAACP to be able to hear some of their upcoming agenda as well and what they've been working on. And I'm going to ask our Education Committee Chair to come up front and give a brief and description of what she's been working on. We have our Newsletter Committee Chair here as well, if you'd like to come up and speak, Judge Barber. We have our Labor and Workforce Chair here as well to be able to speak on those issues. So to kind of get you all prepared. And go ahead, Dr. Dodoni.
Thanks for the warning, President Waddy. The Education Committee received several years ago a $2,000 grant to buy books, and we sat on it for about 4 years, and then we started buying books. And we've been giving away books like crazy. And in fact, I have to get out of here because I'm about to pick up books that are coming from a church sale. And we will be getting the books from the literacy program next year, and we're giving out books. But that word is literacy. And there are 2 words I want to put in here. Literacy means you engage with language in a way that has meaning. Numeracy, you engage with numbers and mathematics in a way that has meaning. Now, math scares a lot of people. One thing we can work with you on, we know a huge difference comes when we enable middle school math teachers to be confident. This is a legacy I carry from my late husband. Talk to me about it. We've done it before. We'll do it again. We have to promote literacy and numeracy. And it's the same thing that Dr. Bedell says. We start raising the boat for anyone, and everybody rises. But those in the greatest need rise fastest. So Anne Arundel County, NAACP, and NAACP nationally, literacy and numeracy, and all the parts that go into it, including the support of teachers in subject matter areas if necessary, and we know that's necessary in mathematics, and in credentialing, and that's necessary for Black and Hispanic teachers. They're being held back from credentialing, often by the very cost of just applying for the credentialing, or tutoring, or support, or isolation. I'd say those are our 2 biggest issues right now. We continue the fight for equity. The spirit of the 2004 MOU was not dead, nor is the MOU. It has come alive again. It was always alive. Let's take the brochure you put. We had a boss who didn't like it for a long time, but its spirit never went away. And we now have a boss, Superintendent Bedell, who loves numbers, who loves goals, who loves transparency. Guys, we might be in the middle of a swamp, but we are a sacred area in the middle of a swamp, and we're fighting.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Clap it up for Dr. Dodoni and our Education Committee. So she definitely mentioned the 2004 Memorandum of Understanding that the NAACP had with Anne Arundel County Schools on several issues, including, as she said, special education, credentialing, making sure that people were, teachers were moving up within the ranks. And it's been a concern that also is echoed in the blueprint. The blueprint also echoes that concern around people being able to move up within the ranks. I don't want to forget that Linda Davis also is our ACT organizer and has been working around housing, affordable housing concerns as well. We definitely thank Carlos Childs for being here. I want to also introduce Judge Claudia Barber, who is our Newsletter Communications Committee Chair and is working on various issues within the community as well. Go ahead.
Thank you, President Waddy. It's a pleasure to be part of the Anne Arundel County chapter of the NAACP. I will be very, very brief. Each quarter, we put out a newsletter, and the newsletter encompasses articles that show the work that the Anne Arundel County chapter of the NAACP is doing. If it's not the Freedom Fund Banquet, if it's not honoring people that are part of the Freedom Fund Banquet, it is also keeping in mind the memory of people who have been part of the struggle that have gone on. We are going to focus on the in memoriam Patrick Fleehardy, who has been a longstanding member of the Anne Arundel County chapter of the NAACP. We hope to do the same for Christine Davenport, who is the former chair of the Democratic Central Committee and a longtime member of the NAACP and part of our executive committee. We, again, mourn their losses. We also have in mind keeping the whole concept of equity before the people. We also strategize in our last article, we focused on, last publication, we focused on driving while Black. And two separate articles, one dealt with someone who was white that observed someone going through the legal process of being charged after charge after charge after charge. And then we had another actual driver in Anne Arundel County who was stopped by the cops. And it was a very major error in the pullover because they mistakenly got a lot of information wrong, but pulled over anyway. But driving while Black is still something in 2025. So these are the types of articles. Our article deadline will be towards the end of January. Feel free to reach out to us through the president or me through the NAACP local chapter website. We'd be happy to review your suggestion for an article and perhaps include it in our upcoming edition. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and that was a complaint that was filed. We had two complaints on driving while Black, basically, while in Anne Arundel County that had come into us. So one that, as she stated, one of our members who was white went to the court and watched and observed and noticed the disparities in attendance. If you go to any of if you all go to traffic court, you're going to see that the majority of the people that are on the defendant's side are Black and Latino, no matter where you go, whether it's Glen Burnie or Annapolis, you're going to see that. And so as one of those concerns is that we have to make sure that they're driving while Black is also something that the NAACP filed a lawsuit against back in the 90s against the state of Maryland. And so now there are statistics that are released every year from each county regarding driving while Black. And it's not just being stopped, it's about being stopped and searched. It's about being stopped, searched, and arrested or detained. And they're all, Black people are disproportionately affected by this in almost every county in Maryland. And Anne Arundel County is one of those places. And there was a time during a state delegation meeting a couple years ago when then Delegate Shanika Henson asked our current police chief about that issue and what she thought about why there was such disproportionate stops happening to African Americans. And the police chief stated that she believed she stated that they were policing high crime areas. And so it was something that she was trying to associate the black neighborhoods with high crime rates. And then she also stated that they were, as we heard earlier, it was Baltimore City and Prince George's County have higher crime rates than Anne Arundel County. And so that's one of the successful tactics that we use in Anne Arundel County to prevent having the same crime rates as Prince George's and Baltimore City, which we border. So that, my ears perk up when I hear those types of conversations. And it's something that concerns me when we are seeing the results that Black people are being disproportionately stopped and then without cause or justification stopped, detained. And when I hear complaints, this other man was driving a Tesla on Route 50 and he was stopped. That was the man who said he was stopped in our newsletter. He was driving a Tesla on Route 50 and was stopped based off of the police believing that he had committed a robbery, but the person who had committed the robbery was driving a white Mazda. And so this was a blue Tesla. And he was stopped in the rain, told to get out of his car, put his hands up. And Tesla recorded this entire thing. The Tesla cameras recorded the entire stop. And this man was truly offended by this entire situation and has filed a lawsuit. So I see we also have one of our Freedom Fund awardees here. If you want to are you able to speak on any upcoming events that you all have regarding so we recently had an apology for slavery that was issued. Thank you, Dr. Doney. We recently had an apology for slavery that was issued by the county executive, and one of the reasons the NAACP did not attach ourselves to that was because there was no reparative justice action that we felt like needed to be added to that. It was just an apology, and so reparations. The NAACP has been deeply in favor of reparations for quite a long time. And I want to be sure that you all are aware of that. So Sean Powell is here. She's been working with on that issue in the Annapolis area, and I wanted to give you all the opportunity to hear from her about that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Kind of put me on the spot. Right. So I'll move down. Okay. So as he stated, okay. Better? Okay. As he stated, the county, as most of us know, did issue an apology. I am a part of the Coalition for Atonement and Repair and we basically seek out reparative justice for urban renewal. Currently, we are seeking reparative justice for the Old Fourth Ward, which is a community located here in Anne Arundel County. My other organization is Capital Accountability Project. And Capital Accountability Project is an organization like a task force. We work nationally and locally on reparative justice. Since we were aware of County Pittman's apology, we sent a letter out to him and we requested that he give us a meeting within 60 days. The letter not only went to him along with the petition, but it also went out to all of our stakeholders and community leaders, as well as just the everyday residents of Anne Arundel County. Initially, we had put a deadline for the 7th, I believe it was, but we have now extended that, and we are still sharing the letter out, and we will continue to have the petition available until we receive a meeting date from County Executive Pittman. So if anyone here has not partaken in that, and if you're interested in signing on to the petition, we have been blessed to have We have now surpassed our original goal, and we are now in the triple digits for those signatures. And we are looking forward to having a larger voice as we continue to work towards the goal of not just an apology. An apology is a nice thing. It's always nice to be acknowledged that something has happened, but most of us know that an apology does not carry an actual, tangible, reparative justice plan. We have, when I say we, those that descend from U.S. chattel slavery, we have always been acknowledged relative to the harms. You can go into your history books and you can see it. Most of us know our history, but one thing that has been consistent is you know the history, you know the harm, but there's never been any intentional, direct, reparative action specifically for those that were harmed. We get policies that address a multitude of harms, but it'll come under minority, it'll come under some other title, but nothing that is intentional specifically for that group. It was intentional policies that harmed us historically, and we are demanding intentional, specific policies for that group to get them from where they are today into our future. And so we encourage you all to please look up the letter. You can go to captaskforce.org. The letter, you can get the letter from there, or you can go to the Coalition for, CAR, the word CAR, the number 4, and then justice.info. You can find the letter there as well. If you're not able to locate the letter, you can certainly send me an email, and that is apowell, Powell, @captaskforce.org, and I will certainly make sure that that email goes out to you along with the link so that you can, please, we encourage everyone to share it out. We need as many signatures as possible so that not just here in Anne Arundel County, but our full state recognizes that reparative justice is not an option. It is a mandate at this point for our survival. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. And that issue, that concern has been major for the NAACP. Our Commissioner Tracy Parker Warren is also going to join us to discuss. Discuss the Labor Committee. She held a very successful event on November the 12th regarding workplace injuries, and we were at our general meeting, our normal general body meeting place every third Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is at the American Legion. I'm sorry, it's late. Late in the day at the American Legion, at 1707 Forest Drive. So I'm going to pass the mic to Commissioner Tracy Parker Warren. Thank you.
I had a couple comments I wanted to add to the discussion concerning driving while Black. I was a state prosecutor, and one of the things that really struck me during that time is and there was even a news article about it, the number of drivers stopped coming 95 north and south, and the disparate number of minorities that were arrested for drug trafficking. And the newspaper article really centered on the number of Black people dealing drugs and running them up and down 95. But to me, the real issue that struck me was the disparate amount of Black people being stopped. Not that there were more running drugs, but there were more getting pulled over. And then the other thing that struck me during that lifetime as a prosecutor is the number of minorities that were given citations for open container violations. One day I had a docket, must have been at least 20 people, same citation, same address, and it came to light that a woman had called the police. There was kind of like a block party kind of thing, called the police, and everyone that was there on private property drinking got citations and went to court. So just to really reiterate what you were saying. And thank you for mentioning our event that we held last month. I think it was really think was successful, gave a lot of good information. But I just wanted to give a quick overview too about issues that affect injured workers that maybe we don't all the time readily recognize if we're not in the industry. And one thing involves healthcare, especially when there's an injured worker that might not be working for the same employer anymore. God forbid they work for the government or federal government, and now, they're laid off. And so things that are important to me is making sure that people get the proper health care that they need, especially if that care pertains to the injury that happened during work. Compensation when appropriate, if the person still has some sort of lingering permanent disability, making sure that person is properly compensated for it. Also making sure the injured worker has time to be away from work to properly heal, and the ability to maybe find different employment if they can't go back to that same job. Maybe the employer can place them somewhere else, or there can be vocational rehabilitation services that can help them find another position, help them find another skill, help them train so that they can find a different job when appropriate. And I think that's all I had. And please forgive the phone. I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. And I say all that because it's really important to me to build relationships with people like everyone that's here, people that care about our community, and people that understand how to organize people so that we can continue to be an awesome change to our community. I do hope that in the near future we can plan a rally as under my position as chair of the committee to support government workers or any workers that are not only hurt at work, but also affected by some of the new policy changes and such. So I look forward to working with all of you, and thank you for the microphone.
Yes, ma'am. So thank you. You can, we are on this, clap it up, please, definitely. Our education committee meets every first Thursday. So if you want to join, if you're not already a member, you can join our education committee meetings every first Thursday. You already heard the newsletter committee. When is your meeting, your next meeting? Okay, in December, we're going to have a meeting. Our next meeting is on December 17th, I want to say. Again, general body meeting. And our political action committee, led by Kiana Banks. When is your next meeting? Okay, the 16th, sorry, 16th, third Tuesday of the month. And the political action committee put on this event, put everything, clap it up for her, please. She has, again, been a major component for having the Annapolis, we had the Annapolis candidate election guide that Ms. Banks put together. That was a major step forward for our organization during that moment. It looks beautiful. Please thank you, Antonio Downing, for doing the digital side of that. He's been doing our streaming all day, so we're grateful that he's here as well. And so all of that hard work that you all see is done in committees first. And so for us to even be here required many, many meetings of our committees. And we need more people. So if you're online and you want to join us, definitely go to our website, Arundel County NAACP.org, and it's spelled out. And Arundel County NAACP.org, and you could join and become a member there. And we're going to be having our economic development coming up as well with Shay Cook, who I believe will be getting an award coming up with the Martin Luther King Jr. Committee. And so that's going to be an amazing time. Our Youth and College Division, we have one of our major organizers for the Youth and College Division in the room, Dr. Sheila Murdoch, is here. Raise your hand, please. Yes, thank you. She organized 8 straight weekends of meetings for trying to build up our Youth and College Division, build it back up across the state of Maryland. The NAACP's Youth and College Division kind of fell apart during COVID. It was very difficult for family members to go out, and so people were still recovering. I put it that way. We're still recovering from trying to build the organization back up. across the state, especially in the units that have adult branches but don't have necessarily colleges in their region. So, like if you go to Baltimore City, Morgan State, Coppin State, their college units are amazing. So we have to build ours up here. Delegate Nkongolo, the NAACP would be great at AACC. You know, the NAACP would be great at AACC as opposed to any other organizations. And so, like those are some of the places that we have to build up our capacity and build our power. And as you all see, advocacy is power. I look forward to seeing everyone during the session and at our next meeting to be able to make sure that we have a successful continuation of our power here at the NAACP's inaugural legislative symposium. Thank you all for coming out, and enjoy the rest of the food that's downstairs. Thank you so much.